All right, test, 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 test. Is this working? All right, this is What's Up, Dave. This is the daily stream that I've been doing to share what I've been up to with my friends on the internet and whoever happens to be watching. Let's see. For those of you who don't know me, like I'm a designer, developer, freelancer, develop some products, trying to just get everything working. And this week, or rather this month, I've issued a challenge to myself to get a lot of long-standing technical projects unstuck. For example, my long-suffering website, which is like a big mess. Let me make sure that I'm hearing stuff from the audio. I don't hear anything. Uh-oh. Test, test. Why am I not hearing anything? Okay, that works. So as I was saying, just to get these long stuck projects going again. One of them is a website. Another one is the e-commerce related stuff. Server. I had to move my server from my current end-of-life server on Media Temple, which is like, I think 10 years old now. They finally are retiring that hardware, and they're not supporting it anymore, so I need to move over to the newest hotness. And it's going to be a big pain in the butt. And then there's other various things I can't even remember, like exact things like, so I get these emails every day from like sales on Amazon I'm getting. And it would be nice if I had some sort of tool to gather up all these sales and then put them into some kind of report. Things like that. Things that would be cool to be able to do. That technically I know how to do, but I've been too lazy to get off my butt and do them. And so in October, I am making a stand against laziness. And so far, laziness is winning, because today didn't go as I had hoped. I was thinking I could wake up relatively early, which I did, around 10 a.m., and I would get up and I would do something, but what did I do? I ended up falling back asleep again. For some reason. Oh, right, because last night I couldn't sleep, so at 4 in the morning I started a pork rub, a pork butt in the smoker, and it's still in there. It's been in there since 4 a.m. and it's 10:30 p.m. and it's only just now getting to the point when it's getting to the final cooking temperature. Let's see if we can find a picture of it. Let me switch a screen over here. What happened? Screen. So there's me, and if I pull up, actually the better way of doing this would be to pull up in Lightroom. Lightroom. Let's see. So here's Lightroom, and let's import everything that's in my current camera uploads folder. It's been a while since I've done this, so this might take a little bit of time. There's only 52 pictures in it. So while that's importing, I guess I could make a list of stuff. Let's see. That's my to-do list. No, I guess let me open up a Quiver app. Oh, actually, this is going on. So we can look at the pork rub. So I got this thing of this pork butt. It's about 7 pounds at least. 7-pound pork butt, and I am going to make pulled pork out of this. All this stuff in the upper right, that's the fat I took off the top of it, which I was going to save and render later into something delicious, but I left it out all night and forgot about it, so I had to throw it out today. I'm using this dry rub, which is largely pepper, I believe, and salt. There's no sugar in it. This is, I think, from a place in Austin that they sell the rub commercially. Oh, these are some pistachios that I bought this big bag of pistachios, and then I vacuum sealed them into their own bags. But this is what this looked, the pork butt, I mean, looked at 13 hours. And it hit, at that time, the internal temperature was about 170 degrees. And, but it was at 170 degrees for the next 5 or 6 hours. And they called this the stall in smoking forums. And what the stall is, apparently, is all the juices inside this thing are evaporating off it while it's smoking. or the smoke is only for the first couple of hours, and it's just slow cooking for the rest of the time. But the evaporation of the meat juice is enough to cool down the butt until, so it never goes above 160, 170 degrees until that evaporation stops. It's called evaporative cooling. And this is a much larger roast than I usually make, so it's actually only just about an hour ago started to creep back up past 170 degrees to 185, 180. Target temperature is about 195 degrees, which sounds really high if you are used to like cooking steaks and stuff like that. But for pulled pork, the interesting thing is that that temperature, the meat fibers start to pull apart, hence the pulling part, and the toughness of the meat is mitigated because this particular cut, which is like a pork butt, is essentially, I think, well, it's the butt. It's got this big joint, but it's got a lot of fat in it, and so the fat itself adds the softness and the lubrication. And it turns out that 195 degrees is perfectly fine for this cut of meat. If you did that to a steak, you would ruin it. If you did that to any piece of chicken, you would destroy it. But for the pork butt, apparently it's just fine. So that's been on my mind. I've just been waiting for this thing to be done, and I don't know if it's going to be done before you go to sleep. But again, the main thing that I want to do is right now is, and I'm going to set a timer for this, is to actually kind of get my head around this getting unstuck project. Another complication is that my time isn't entirely free right now. I'm doing I'm coordinating a server move from our legacy client, and we're just getting started on that, so it's a bunch of phone calls, and I really dislike being on the phone, or I used to. Apparently I'm fine with it now. But just knowing that I had to talk to someone and call someone or be somewhere at a certain time, like for a meeting, that tends to distract me from being able to do any kind of deep focus work. And maybe that's why I've been in this kind of I don't know, flappy mood the entire day. The other thing was I'm on kind of semi on call because the software that we were developing for the researchers, those were they're doing the trials right now. You know, I think I already did a stream this morning. Did I do a stream this morning? I think I did. So this is a second bonus stream, I guess. But I'm going to change the topic of this then to just getting unstuck. Let me do that real quickly here. So getting unstuck. Okay. Sorry, problem solved. Okay, so let me go back to I'm going to open up my Quiver notebook, and I'm going to do some live typing into that. I should probably check to see if there's anyone typing anything in the chat room. Oh, Vicky's there. Hey, Vicky. Vicky is a member of our virtual co-working chat where we hang out and we work on our various projects and keep each other company, because I guess we're all like in situations where, you know, there's not a lot of other people around to talk to. So what's this trash note? So, okay, so I'm going to find a place somewhere here. What is this? I guess this would be under, let me start in the, let me switch over here. This is my Quiver notebook. It's kind of like Evernote, except it's more programmer friendly. A specific feature is you can write in the Markdown language on this side, and it formats it in Markdown. It has better export. It supports code formatting too. It's a programmer's notebook from this company called Happen Apps. And there's this one guy who makes this notebook, but I like it a lot. So I just guess I need to figure out where on this thing I'm going to type in things. I mean, I need to clean it up a little bit. So the index is supposed to tell me what's going on. All right, I forgot I used to do this. The last time I updated this apparently was in April. This is the global continuity for 2017. This is where I used to just write down what I did every day, kind of to keep track of what was on my mind. I'll put a gap there, and then what's today's date? It's October 3rd. It's also Tuesday. 1 second or something, I need to go get something off the stove. I have been doing these boil in a bag meals because I got this vacuum sealer. I was too lazy to actually cook this. So I'll bring this out so we can like look at it in horror. It's alright. So I have this commercial chamber vacuum sealer, or semi-commercial, and what this allows you to do is seal things in bags. And this will be great for sous vide and stuff like this. I decided I was too lazy to break out all the sous vide stuff, so I just froze. This didn't switch. Oh. Let me fix this stupid thing. So stop. So, I mean, this unappetizing bit of protein is just like a pork cutlet that had been marinated in soy sauce for a few days, actually. And I just put it in some hot water, simmering water, that was high enough to cook this to 155 degrees. So that's cooked, and it's sealed in this vacuum bag. And because it's airtight, it doesn't absorb any of the moisture and stuff. And so this is what my dinner is going to be. I'm still on the sort of a low-carb Atkins diet. That might be contributing to my lack of enthusiasm lately. But on the other hand, I feel pretty good physically. So I'm encouraged to keep on this. I've been slowly losing weight, which is like a nice goal. I'd like to lose like 50 or 60 pounds in the next year or so. I've never been that light, like probably since I was in the 7th or 8th grade. But if I could get anywhere close to, like even get below 200, that'd be great. So October 2nd, I'm just going to go back to the screen here. So in October 2nd, or let's start with October 1st, or 2nd rather, Monday, I declared October to be Technical Project Challenge Month. And this was supposed to be the first day, Tuesday. Couldn't sleep. Tested dry rub. Was a salt lick on pork butt. That was really the only thing I did intentionally. There were some other things I did was like just reactionary stuff, reactionary work stuff, emails, server issues, nothing intentional. And I think that's what's bothering me about today. I didn't do anything intentional. So maybe that is the question I'm trying to resolve. So how can I get out of this mode in which I'm not being intentional? And how do I get my intention back? So let me think about this. It's too bad that I could cycle I could actually, I see a few people in like one of our lounges on the room. I used to have a room where you could just talk to people there, and we could like everyone could hear each other on this. I don't want to surprise people with that. It might be fun to do a podcast though, or something like that, when we're just all having a seminar discussion, like on this and sharing. Well, I did do one intentional thing. Well, this was reaction. I did order a bunch of like new nail polish from an indie boutique place in Ohio called what was it called again? It was something like Black Magic, or what was it called? Oh, anyway, so apparently it takes them like 6 weeks to ship this stuff because nail polish is a hazardous material and you can't airship it. And it goes through these special shipping protocols that go by ground, and they take forever to ship anything. So you didn't know that. Well, you learn something new every day. But these are pretty cool colors. So I'm kind of excited by that. the idea of collecting colors, like in bottles, there's something really appealing about that. It's like collecting little potions. I'm trying to think of something that would be even better than that. Maybe collecting gems? I mean, like, I like colorful things, so like anything I could collect that's colorful. Maybe pieces of glass would be cool, but I don't know. Maybe there's some aspect of it that you have, like there's so many different finishes. There's so many different, like, I don't know. And the interesting thing about this, I know I'm going on a tangent. It's like it's interesting to just be able to carry the color swatch with you, and it's there. And this one, particular one, I actually happen to like a lot. So, just learning to appreciate that stuff has been fun. But I digress. Intention. How am I going to get this? I'm going to use this card, and I'm going to write on it. Is there another card that's blanker? Here's some. Right now, what's going through my mind is a whole bunch of ideas. Like, at the moment I was looking at these cards, I was thinking I really do need to make my own custom index cards now that are a nicer weight. Something that's more similar to the frictionless cards I used to buy from Aaron Mankey. But he's moved on to greater things and no longer makes those. So I think it's okay for me to make them. So here is an index card. Let me just adjust this. See if we can get a little bit closer to it. And let me get some more light on this. Intention. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to kind of come up with a focusing technique in which I have an artifact that reminds me of what I'm doing. Because right now my brain's so scattered, it's hard for me to focus on anything. And my Quiver notebook over here is in such a state that I'm looking at it. I haven't looked at this in a few months, and I don't remember any of this stuff. What this stuff is. I mean, it's just overwhelming. It's not like a debilitatingly overwhelming, but I'm looking at this and I'm not getting something that I can hold in my hand and be clear about. This is something I have to process before I get someplace. And I could just do that the very next step. But for now, I just feel the need to write down something that will be focusing. And I guess the word that comes to mind is intentful. Intentful. Project. Selection. And I'm going to say close. So what I really want to do is close some of these projects. And I wanted, so there's the intent, and there's close. And by close, what do I mean? Close, that's like either, I have two choices. Either I finish it, or I drop it forever. Because I don't want to have these projects lingering around if maybe they're not ever going to get done. So there's something there. So I feel I need to do something with this to kind of make it feel a little bit more substantive. This is like a very flimsy feeling card. Let's see. So what am I going to do about it? That's strange. Let's let me actually work with... Oh, it does. Okay. The other Adobe apps don't work. Alright, so now I've got this going on. Thinking. I'm thinking, maybe I'll think and I'll contemplate this shell that I have. This is from an artist in Rhode Island who found this shell and made a nice, beautiful casting of it. And this is actually a bottle opener. You can see like there's a little place there that you can just go like this. I was looking at that picture a little bit earlier. But you know, when I was looking at this shell, and there's just something nice. The weight of it's wonderful. I mean, it's hand. You know, I mean, it's a casting of something that he made or he found. But the way it's finished, the surface is just. This is gorgeous. I really like this. And in a way, this is a very grounding thing to be holding in my hand right now. Because what I want is something like I want something finished that has this quality that it's something of note, as opposed to something like like this. Like this is a cheap bell I got. I mean, it looks okay, right? But there's none of the same qualities that you get with this shell. This is like some sort of pressure formed metal that has some texture to it. It doesn't look like the edges have been like really like finished at all. You can still, they're a little bit rough, so maybe they're roughly sanded, but there's none of that sense of care that this piece had when it's finishing. This handle, it's just sort of like, I think it's drilled in there, like it's, okay, there's like a hole punch there, and then someone just screwed this thing up with the striker, or whatever it's called. You know, this was, I think, $9 or $12, something like this. This was $40, but I shook the hand of the man who made it. Yeah, we had an excellent conversation. So this is now an heirloom. This is a utility thing. This is something. This is not the sort of thing I want to make. Although, to be fair, this is the one I picked. It has an aesthetic simplicity to it. I mean, it's unpretentious. It has all the elements that you need in a bell. I mean, I would say that it makes the noise. The noise itself probably hasn't been tuned, but someone had to figure out how to make this thing, and it does its job. So, I know maybe I sound like I'm just kind of digressing, but I'm trying to capture some feeling that I have here. And so, you know, maybe what I'm missing from this is the sense that I just sort of slopped this down like it was like that bell. But is there something that I can do to make this more of a artifact of my thinking at the time? Something that comes to mind is if I knew where my chop was, I could use that. Where is it? Or if I had like really nice cardstock, you know, that might have been it. You know what? Actually, I might have something I can use for that. I still have a few of those pieces. Yes, I think I do. Yeah, so these. So these are the old frictionless cards. I haven't been trying to use them because I can't get these anymore. But you know, really, all they are is they're just cardstock that have been pre-printed with this grid pattern on it. I could easily produce these myself. But do I want to use one of these today? As part of my remaining stock of these, which I don't have very many of them anymore. Those are the red ones. I have more of those. I have a few of the green ones. Oh, maybe I'm making this too precious again. I have this red one. This is just some cheap thing I could use. At least I would be able to see it. Ritualizing this. Alright, so I have some bases of stuff here. I'm going to use this as a scratch piece and continue to write on it. So what are the projects I'm working on? This is the new website. And this is the 1701 web framework. which is related to the research work. And those are maybe the two main things I want to work on. And then there's the side tech things. So how do I translate this into something that I can put up somewhere in the room that I can look at every morning as a ritual thing? Maybe I even tape it to the shell. So like it's something I have to deal with. And the shell itself reminds me of the commitment I'm trying to make to this. That could work. Or I could even use this crappy bell. Tape it onto like this. Or I could use this. That's when I get the cat to hold it. It's a weird bug that just crawled up on me. Gross. Alright, so I'm looking back at this. Intentful. What does that mean to me? Intentful means that I want to I could do something on purpose. Just check and make sure that this thing is turned up. Okay. But the idea of closing is really important to me too. What does that mean to me? Intentful means I want to. So, new website. Maybe I need to break this down. Let's say one. Maybe I write an essay on it as like a design narrative. So, new website. For how to approach it. And that might be a good first step. Let's limit ourselves to 15 minutes tonight. And let's see how far that goes. Then I'll eat something. Let's set this timer to 15 minutes. And then let's go to, let's see, I need split screen locks. Alright. Alright, we're going to try to write our way out of this rut. And where am I going to write it? I don't know. I think I have a website. Oh, let me read to see what these categories are. We've got best practices, blogging, Groundhog Day resolutions 2017, making products, Patreon, social media. I'm feeling this kind of like my chest clenching up because there's all these things in these categories I haven't addressed. And I feel behind on them. I feel bad about it. This is a big project where we've closed or are doing. I'm on call for now. Learning Metalsmith. What's random? Oh, this is random stuff. This is like a Apple script that this in. This JS game. This is the new 1701 project. Music, software, fabrication, food and cooking. Actually, I've been doing quite a lot of the food and cooking stuff recently. Mystery, ARG, no work on that. The Nerd magazine, no move on that. Research management, that's related to this website project. The Framework 3, that is the same as the JS game. And so I think 1401 I'm going to close this project. October 3, 2017. In favor of 1701. Alright. Okay, so I closed one thing. The music project? That's on hold. Nerd magazine is something I want to do too. That is important enough for me to write down here. So Nerd magazine, write it down on this card. You go back to this mode. So Nerd magazine, I just wrote it down on here. Book. Trying to think of a book to write. Atkins, that's the diet stuff. Community building. What is the nature of organizations things? had some theories on things. I was collecting some ideas, but a lot of this has moved largely over to the co-working chat room in our Lyceum discussion room. Yeah, so maybe there's not that many projects after all. Just to be complete, I'm kind of hesitant to look at this, but let me look at my Trello board. I guess I can start from here. This is the actual... So I haven't looked at this in a while. So long that it looks like it's loading it from... I don't know. Actually, is this the one? Where's all the rest of the cards? Maybe I close this. Recent boards, personal boards. This is Dave Co. Personal. 2012, some of these things are going. Maybe there's not a lot there. If I look at the done board, it looks like it's lost all my... There used to be stuff on here. It's like I've lost all the work? Does it auto-close boards now? Now here's like, let's reopen this one. So like this is an example of how I used to keep track of my tasks. And when I was using this as my primary task manager. How do I close this again? Close board. Boards, but I'm surprised that none of all this is completely gone. I'm guessing I must have just closed the board off and never added anything. So these are projects. I think I did clear all these out. It's kind of hard to read because like I think I have aging turned on for this. Marketing, reform, fixes. There are some server move issues. That's probably an important thing to put on this list as a stalled technical project. Server moves. And then there's just general e-commerce stuff. It's maybe a little less technical. But I think those are the 5 main things I want to work on. So the question is, how do I maintain the momentum to work on these things and not become like all mad about having to do these things? Because I'm not really good at doing things on purpose that I have to do. Not even if it's myself telling me to do them. I'm pretty bad at that. So I'm feeling the desire to just take a nap now, but I know that's my brain trying to trick me into not doing some of the hard work. So we will do 15 minutes of hard work. And because I don't know where I'm going to put it, I am going to put it up here in the slush pile. And get rid of this to-do note. Free thinking Dave things. Virtual co-working chat. In fact, a lot of these are... When does this last updated? These are some of the things that I've been doing. Oops. What did I just do? So let's rename this. This will be our thing. I'm going to move this to best practices. And so the indexes is a good place just to start putting my notes until I figure out where to move them. Alright, so let's do some free writing here. Oops. Intentful project selection. You know what? Let's get out of this markdown mode. Let's go into regular text style mode. Looks like Guess I can't choose fonts here, and I've chosen a sans serif, or this illegible font. Style. Editor. I'm using font family monospace. What's the name of that font? Fonts don't even have available. I can never remember the name of that, how to pronounce that. Where would I find it? I go to terminal, and I go to CD. Is it system? No, this is a better way of doing this. Terminate. Preferences. Fonts. Oh wait, fonts are a separate app. So I need font kit or something. Font book. And the name of the font is Essential Programmata Pro. But how do I actually refer to it in the CSS style? That's not helping me. It's a local style. How do I refer to it? Well, if I save this and updates it, that doesn't it? Because I paid too much in it. Okay, there it goes. Font size is 15. Let's make that 14. And I guess that will work style-wise. It is a little hard to read. We'll see if I will like it. The important thing is it's like, no, I hate this. Styles, CSS, is there a way I can get defaults? Reset. Alright. Oh, that's why they did that. So on the blog, I actually wrote, starting the new blog after archiving the old one, start from scratch, a new focus on a more efficient communicator, learn blah blah blah, use mouse for new system. You're still doing that. Patreon is like, not, actually that should be on the list as well. Patreon, I still need to make the video, still need to finish all this stuff. Start doing, or deliver on regular new forms. At least once a month. The virtual co-writing check is running itself now, so I'm not going to worry about that. Game engine update. This is 1701. Web framework. This supersedes work on 1401. 1701 and focuses on the communications and state management. Multi-app. Why does the X selection suck so much? Server transition. Making products. This is e-commerce stuff. Improvements. There's things like reworking SKUs, fixing listings, making them all more exciting and more interesting to read about. I did learn a lot about pricing. I thought my conservative estimate for pricing turned out to be wildly optimistic. So that was an educational process. Nerd Magazine, this is publishing some kind of prototype for attracting and gathering or attracting creative nerds in the area by doing something really cool. A magazine thing. Amazon e-commerce improvements. Server transition, 71 Patreon. What else am I missing from this? I've got nerd, I've got side tech things. Website. For October, our goal, my goal is to close these long-standing projects for good. Either finish them or close them forever. I have until the end of October to come to one of those conclusions. That's like the drop dead. Alright, so I have some intention here, but what I am missing are specifics. So on the blog, starting things up, let me do sort of the blog building essay. I think they can link to this. There's a way of doing that. Oops, there, both of my 15 minutes are up. Let me just link that really quickly. Note, copy note link. I should be able to do it up here. So I click on this, it'll take me to the right notebook. Let me give myself 5 minutes to just jam something out. So then tomorrow, then I should be able to come back to this. Alright, so the blog building essay. Let me just rewrite here. What do I want? I want the new website to be purely text. Rewrite that. Pure text website prototype. It will look like a really basic wireframe. The important part is just to have the information available. Because this is the hard part. How to organize the past 12 years of my writing online while drawing attention to my current projects. Alright, so let's rewrite this again to simplify it. It will look like the simplest of wireframes. It will make the past 12 years of content available. However, the main thrust is the new categorical project organization. Do I even know what that looks like? So these are two separate things. Rule 1, make this is to the new categorical project, the new project-based organization. That is a lab notebook. Open lab notebook with plentiful data integration options that with a markdown like frictionless entry system. Let me rewrite that again. The main thrust is to the new project, a project-based organization scheme that organize for nodes of information that are linked associatively and chronologically. Associative, chronologically, and conceptually. The experience, I should say, the experience will be like opening a lab notebook and adjusting what's there to create more clarity. Kind of like what I'm trying to do now with this rewriting stuff. So those are the goals. How am I going to do it? Let's start, we're going to skip step 1. Because that's just a review process. That's just review and convert HTML to simple HTML. With existing categories. Step 2 is harder because we haven't done this before. The approach I'm thinking of, now that I'm remembering it, is to design a research description language using JavaScript objects. This is useful because I am already working with JavaScript and don't know Lisp. I think it's possible to write a program that writes itself its own testable can help me refactor categories on the go. And it would basically look like English. Define concepts, define concept links. except not verbose and lame. It should be more like poetry. Well, not like poetry. It should be highly expressive-y and self-refactoring. So I think that's where I'm going to start tomorrow. So, so I wasted all day just trying to get to this point, trying to get some sort of clarity about what I'm going to do next. So now I have the starting point of some. I just need to write down on one of these cards that this is where I need to look. I'm going to use the regular card here. So what we're going to do is to start the October challenge. I'm literally writing myself a note here. Look in Quiver. Index 2017. Try to resolve something. Do until bored, then switch. There is my tasks for tomorrow. And it's not tremendously exciting, but I feel at least now that mentally I have some kind of hook of where to start tomorrow. You have an idea what those main projects are. I wrote them down in Quiver. I just need to put this card someplace where I will see it. Maybe I'll just put it on this shell. Get some tape. Can't believe that pork butt is still going. It's like 11:30. I was hoping they'd have it for dinner, but looks like they might have to wait. Let's go check the temperature real quick. It is currently at 188 degrees. We're getting close. So maybe an hour from now I'll be able to pull it out. So let's see if I can tape this onto here. Alright, so there we go. And I will put it right here. And I guess while I'm here, I just might as well clean up some of this mess over here. So it's old programming notes. These are programming references I made on the fly that are probably still worth keeping. Programming notes. This is a registration card. This is for my poor cat. Save this someplace. This is something I want to register. I'll do that now. So let's throw this out. Throw that out. Some more blank cards I can keep. More old programming notes. More old programming notes. These are just things when I'm stuck on a programming project, I actually write down what I'm doing step by step, because otherwise, when I get distracted, I forget what I'm working on. So that helps keep me on track. Throw that away. And these I need to file someplace. Some of these I can throw out too, I think. This is an old to-do list. This is like a list of net carbs, which I don't need anymore. These I will stick over here I'll put them into this little notebook, which I'm not sure what I'm going to use for yet. These were on sale though. These are like 50% off at Barnes & Noble. I was going to write something in this. It's just cute. I like it. But I can keep... That's big enough to hold these index cards in, so I'll just put those there for now. Yes! Throw these out. That's there. These pens can go in the pen thing. I probably need a better place for them. Ugh, this doesn't fit. This thing out of ink. Well, there's no ink in it. That's weird. What happened to the ink? Yeah, I ran out. This pen, go here. Why is this over here? All right. I need to put these out to this. I need to file with my other work. Oops. Almost accidentally threw that away. I haven't looked at this in a while. These are other things I was going to do. This is my chore list. I forgot where I had put this. I should find a place to keep this. So this is like an interesting two-chamber storage thing. Quotas. These are things related to something. Oh, these are e-commerce notes. That's for the actual. These are more things I need to catch up on. I thought I had a notebook for storing work-related things. What did I do with that? Huh. Where did I put my... Does I have a separate folder for this? Well, maybe it is in here. This is all related to my, this is all store stuff. That is chores. This side is stuff related to chores. Oh wait, this is the, okay, this should go in here. Maybe I need to clip these together somehow. Put them in a folder. I guess I have a clipboard for this. Maybe I can use one of these. A whole bunch of folders here that might do the job. Look at this fancy thing. Whoa! Dividers inside of dividers. We're going to use this thing. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll use this. Look at this. This is awesome. Where did they get this? Here's the schedule. And I could just tape that in there, I guess. Yeah, so it's let's see if this is even accurate. So yeah, this is the study week. And then for these references, I'll just put them in here for now. And then this whole thing. I guess I'll just put it under here. I guess I could give it a label too if I wanted to. There's the caps. That's a funny font. Yeah. This is too wide. I was going to put it up there, but I think I'll just stick it here. I figure out where the best place to put this is. If I put it up there, I'll be obscured. Yeah, it'll be alright. Alright, so this is my new resurrected work folder. I need to put someplace where I see it. Remember where it is. But I'm not exactly sure where to put it. I guess I could put it up here for now. Next to the teletype. So I just moved it over here. Behind that computer. You can see there's the old teletype that's there, it's holding it up, which I need to move downstairs so I can reclaim that table. But alright, so I guess I'm feeling better. I should have done this earlier, just getting unstuck, getting some things moving along. I have my shell set up. I just sit on this desk and when I come back and look at this, I should just remember what I was doing. At least that's the great hope that I have. Alright, so that's today's Getting Stuck. I'm how far am I into this? About an hour. Wow, the time just flew. So that's it for now. I'll archive this in about 5 minutes. When YouTube is done doing initial processing, this timer will go off at 8 minutes, and hopefully I'll remember to publish it instead of letting a day go by. So, thanks for watching me get unstuck. And so the October challenge continues. Have a good night. YouTube is done doing initial processing. This time will go off at 8 minutes, and hopefully I'll remember to publish it instead of letting a day go by. So, thanks for watching me get unstuck. And so the October challenge continues. Have a good night.